Good morning, gay people. My name is Zelda Vox, and today we're going to go over the team that I used to get top 16 at the Rutgers Scarlet Invitational Classic, whatever the hell you call it, or Rhode tournament. God, I'm so good at this. Anyway, so this is actually a team that I stole and burglarized. This was a team that got top 8 at the Grand Champions Festival. I will link the original team creator down in the description. And yeah, I've been really into Mega Aerodactyl lately. I just think she's really cool. Having the fastest rock slide in the game, getting that tailwind, I think it's really strong. Especially because Charizard is the #1 Mega, which makes Aerodactyl the #2 Mega. And also, I think Scovillain is really underrated right now. The ability to just burn whatever the hell you want is really cool. It makes people play really scared, I find, because they're just so afraid of letting their Pokemon get burned, even though the win condition is usually just let something get burned in order to take out the Scovillain, and then you still win the, 3v3.5, because you've got, 3 mons and something's burned. And I think a lot of people are just scared to take the win con where they get burned. This team has some really cool choices. My personal favorite is the dropping the Protect on Kingambit. I think that Kingambit, people are really struggling with, do I drop Low Kick, do I drop Iron Head? I think the solution is you don't drop either. I think dropping Iron Head is a mistake in a format where Sylveon and Floette are so popular. I think that a lot of teams, on paper, will be better into those fairies than in practice because your Kingambit doesn't have a way to hit them. I think that Steel is such a great typing in this format that not using it both defensively and offensively, I think it's a bit of a waste. And then also Low Kick, because the Kingambit Mirror then becomes really difficult without it, especially because they're all dropping Iron Head for Low Kick. If you don't have your own Low Kick, you just straight up lose the 1v1 no matter what. But this team does also have 2 other fighting types in Kommo-o and Sneasler. I think Kommo-o is another one that's really underrated right now, especially with Perish Trap taking off a little bit, with, Wolf sending his evil demons out into the void with this Oko team, which... it's fun. It's fun. I'll give it to him. It's fun. But I think Kommo-o is really good into weather teams, especially, that aren't snow. I mean, obviously. But it's really good into sand, it's really good into Zard, it's really good into rain. Being able to set up and then recover a lot of that HP back with leftovers is really strong. I also want to touch on this Basculegion. It is Mystic Water, which is not super popular these days. It's usually Scarf or Sash. And just to move over to the stats a little bit, this is my Basculegion spread. I changed a few of the spreads on this team. Most of them stayed the same, but the Basculegion was mine. And what I did with this is I ran Jolly, even though it is not Scarf. And the reason for that is... I wanted to get the jump on things like slower Charizards, on Mega Meganium was one that I found was really impactful, Archaludon, a lot of things that live in that, 110 to 130 range. I think running Jolly and dropping the attack down, because you have the Mystic Water, you get a lot of the damage output back in your Liquidations and your Aqua Jets, and my light just turned off, and that's okay, we're gonna roll with it. Your Mystic Waters and your Aqua Jets are still strong because of the Mystic Water. And your Last Respects, I'm gonna be so real, the few points in attack are not that noticeable when you're using a 200 base power move. It's really not that big of a deal. But I find the speed to be really useful in a lot of situations. And the bulk is really cool. The defense is really fierce because it lets you live a Kingambit Sucker Punch, and the special defense lets you live a Rotom Thunderbolt, which is really important because Scarf Rotom is, in theory, an answer to Basculegion. However, in practice, I don't like that it is. And so I decided to make sure it's not. And so it isn't. Also on this team, we have bulky White Herb Sneasler. I think that if you're running max HP, max attack Sneasler, you're kind of throwing, because there are so many things that will just barely one-shot no bulk Sneasler, and you can live a very surprising amount of attacks, including non-Mega Aerodactyl dual Wing Beat with this spread. It's enough speed to outspeed Adamant Garchomp, which is really good, especially for best of 3, because I can use Sneasler as a check to see if they are Jolly Garchomp. In the sense that if they Earthquake me and I die before I close combat them, then I know that they're Jolly. And, I mean, most Garchomp are not Jolly max speed, which is why I feel comfortable running just enough to outspeed Adamant. And then it's just attack up to the jump point, and then the rest is in the bulk. There was definitely something I tried to live that wasn't Aerodactyl Dual Wing Beat, but it was something about as strong as Aerodactyl Dual Wing Beat, and so I lived that anyway. The Scovillain spread is the same from the team I stole this from. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I was running a bunch of calcs and I ended up with like almost the same exact spread. I was like, okay, great. Same with the Aerodactyl spread. This Aerodactyl is meant to live something specific when you're not Mecha'd, and I don't remember what it is, and I should, but I don't. But I find the bulk to come in handy a lot, even when you are Mega, because a lot of... It's enough bulk that it survives a lot of things that are just barely supposed to kill it. Which I think is a really good bulk spot to hit if you're struggling to be like, I don't know how many EVs to invest. Find something that does like 100 to 100 whatever damage to you and make yourself live it. That's the trick. Yeah, so this is the team. It's pretty straightforward. It's just the best mods in the format, and then Kommo-o with the Scovillain. It's pretty cool. Alright, so for our first opponent, we have a Sand team, which I happen to have a phenomenal matchup into. This is definitely a Mega Aerodactyl game, only because Tailwind is really important. Especially if they're going to set up Tailwind with this Corviknight. Basculegion is really important for dealing with that Corviknight, because if I don't bring Scovillain, there's not really a lot I can do to touch it. I could bring... This is 5 physical attackers. I can bring Scovillain. Yeah, let's burn their shit instead of relying on the speed control. I do still want... I definitely want Kommo-o, and I think I want... do I want Bask or do I want Kingambit to deal with their Bask, is the question. They do also have low kick for the Tyranitar. Not that I need it, because I have 2 other fighting types, but, like... It's good to be able to do that. I'm not worried about the Garchomp. I brought Kommo-o. Yeah, this should be good. And if it's not, you'll watch me lose in real time. Yeah, I find that the Sand matchup, teams that don't have Sneasler, I think, are throwing because of... Well, not just because of the Sand matchup, but because of the Sand matchup. I think that Sneasler is just such an easy check to Sand, because most Sand teams just, like, get run over by a Sneasler with a little bit of support and speed control. So what I'm going to do here, Scovillain should be faster than the Corviknight, and so I kind of want to just click Fake Out Overheat into the Corviknight and see what happens. Because I'm really just not threatened by this Tyranitar at all. I mean, worst case scenario, I take a Rock Slide, but then it's burned, and I'm threatening it with a close combat next turn. Like, there's really just not much it can do. And it protects even better, unless it's a double protect, in which case, like, fine. Yeah, okay, perfect. So we're just gonna take the Corviknight, I think, unless it's Akaberry. And, yeah, we're faster. Akaberry. Goodbye! And the nice thing about Scovillain is that you can just click the Overheat button, and, like, you're kind of still chilling because you don't need to be clicking Overheat. So now it's still a good Redirector and Leech Seeder and Burner because it's, you know, Scovillain. And so it's not, like, dead weight like something else would be Rotom Heat after you Overheat. Which, I guess Rotom Heat can Volt Switch, but we're not talking about her, she's not here. And bringing the Garchomp, which is fair. I think this is a scenario where I want to just Leech Seed the Garchomp. I doubt the Tyranitar stays in, but I also don't know what would happen if it... Like, what do you switch in there? I guess if you have Rotom in the back, you switch it in. But also, I don't know why you would bring Rotom. I guess you would bring Rotom here. I don't know. Yeah, I think it's definitely Leech Seed the Garchomp and Protect. And just scout and see what they're gonna do. Because also, if they go for Earthquake or Rock Slide, the Garchomp's burn. And then I'm not really scared of it. Which is, again, why Sneasler's so good into this. Let's see. So we hit the Protect. They Mega Evolve the Tyranitar. Okay, perfect. So they Dragon Claw into the Sneasler. So they're just gonna let me Leech Seed, it looks like. And they're gonna take a burn on the Tyranitar. Which is even better. Oh, never mind. They miss. Okay. So we've got the Leech Seed off on the Garchomp, which is good because we're going to start chipping it down. And what I think is going to happen here is I think they're just going to protect Earthquake. And so what I want to do is I want to Rage Powder because in the event that they don't do that, I don't want Kommo-o to switch in on a Dragon Claw. And also I want to make sure that I get the burn on them if they go for a second target. But I think Kommo-o is pretty safe to bring in here. Especially because what's likely going to happen is they get double burned, and if they KO me, I get to bring in Sneasler and then go for a fake out. Yeah, so I just get the burn. And then this is what, Rock Slide? Yeah, okay, so you take out my Scovillain, but now both of your things are burned. I got Kommo in for relatively free. I mean, it took, you know, 30 damage in return. And Scovillain goes down, having taken a KO and burning 2 things. And setting up Leech Seed on the Garchomp, which isn't going to activate this turn, but Sneasler's now going to start draining the health once it comes back in. And I'm leaving Kingambit in the back because I am fairly certain that that is Basculegion as the last one. And I don't want to be caught out with, like, just Sneasler at the end with that, because that would be bad. So I'm going to fake out the Garchomp here and set up my Clangorous Soul, because I really don't think they have any counterplay to that at this point. Because, again, both of their things are burned. You know, what are they going to do? Switch in Basculegion? Like, I think this is a pretty solid spot. And we cut our health, boost all of our stats, we get the knockoff. Okay, knocking off the leftovers, annoying, but not the end of the world. It puts us on a bit of a timer, but also Sand's going to run out soon, and I do not think that Tyranitar is long for this world. Because now we have a really safe just Clangorous Soul and close combat into the Tyranitar. And there's really not a lot they can do about that. Because again, like, they have to have Excadrill, Basculegion, or Rotom Wash in the back. I am certain they don't have Rotom Wash in the back because they would have swapped it in and gone for Earthquake if they could. And they don't want to switch in Excadrill in a close combat if they have it. Yeah, so they're just going to protect, which is fine. They're going to lose the Garchomp. And yeah, Sneasler is still threatening a KO on the Tyranitar, and even then, if it's Basculegion in the back, I still have my Kingambit in the back to take care of it, and also I have Kommo-o and Sneasler both ready to take out the Tyranitar, and even then, it's burned, I have a Topple Berry, and I have Low Kick, so I'm really just not worried about it, and the sand is over now. So they're not chipping away at my Kommo-o anymore, and there's the Basculegion, as expected, and because they've just protected the Tyranitar, and I have Kingambit in the back, I'm just going to double into it with fighting moves. Only because I'm assuming this is Scarf Basculegion and I don't know which thing they're going to last respects, and I want to make sure that I don't have a scenario where they last respects the thing that's killing Tyranitar, and then I suddenly am not able to KO it. Because I'm comfortable leaving Kingambit to take care of the Basculegion. Yeah, so they take out Sneasler, which is fine, because now I can Aura Sphere and take out the Tyranitar, and then Kommo-o and Kingambit can really easily clean this one up. So yeah, this is just a really great example of just how good Scovillain is. I mean, it completely neutralized, like, all of their attackers with the burn, and just dunked on the Corviknight. I mean, Scovillain, overheat off of base 138 attack is not nothing. Like, I think that's something people forget about Scovillain. Is that it's bad because of its low bulk, but it does have a lot of base stats still, so it's definitely not a win. But yeah, so that was a pretty clean win. I think Sand is really interesting though, and it's something I do want to try out, because I think Excadrill is really good into a lot of things. Not Scovillain, but a lot of things. Alright, our next match, we have Garchomp, Dragonite, Aegislash, Incineroar, Floette, and Sinistcha. This is a tricky one, because I do think that this is a Scovillain game, only because Aegislash is a huge pain in the ass without it. Like, being able to just delete the Sinistcha or the Aegislash with an Overheat is really, really valuable. And then also being able to burn the Garchomp. This could be... This Dragonite, this could be Dragon Fang, Dragon Claw Dragonite, but I've also been seeing some people running Mega Dragonite as a double Mega with Floette, so it could be that as well. So I don't want to, like, totally write that off as a possibility. Kommo-o is really, really good into a lot of this, however, the Floette does scare me quite a bit. But I think if I bring Sneasler and Kingambit, I think I'm good, especially if I bring Kommo-o in the back and just focus down the Floette. And then I can bring in Kommo-o to clean up in the end. I just have to be really careful about the Aegislash, because again, similar to like the scenario last game with Basculegion, I don't want to end up in a scenario where it's Aegislash and I'm left with like Kommo-o's Sneasler, and I just kind of can't remove it, which is one of the things I don't love. The only thing, actually, I don't love about Aerodactyl Sneasler is that it does just get hardwalled by Aegislash, like, really, really badly. Okay, this would have been a great lead if I let Kommo-o, but I'll take this. So this could be Inner Focus Dragonite, but I'm willing to bet that it's not. I think I want to Mega Evolve and Leech Seed the Dragonite, and I want to fake out the Garchomp, and here's why. I think that the Dragonite's going to go for Tail End, the Garchomp's going to go for Earthquake. And I'd rather the Garchomp get burned, I'd rather Leech Seed the Dragonite, break Multiscale with that, and make sure I don't get Earthquaked, and still, like, advance my position. Oh, okay. They're going to switch out the Garchomp. Not what I thought was going to happen. Incineroar. Okay, cool. Give me my speed boost. I'll take it. See, this is what I'm saying about Scovillain, is, like, people are so scared of getting burned that they will just... Yeah, this is a double switch here is crazy. What is that? Oh, okay, so they didn't bring Floette, which is really, really good for me, because I have Kommo-o in the back. And this also means that I have a relatively free KO on Aegislash with Scovillain. Especially because now my Sneasler's not intimidated. Like, I am threatening really, really hard with just Overheat close combat. And they've just, like, thrown away all of their positioning with that double switch. Like, they really could have, like, done a lot, but they were so scared of getting burned that they were like, and so they switched. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to protect here on the fake out, because I don't want them to fake out and Poltergeist the Scovillain. But I am going to close combat the Incineroar to punish that, because that is what I think is going to happen. Because I'm not really scared of the Aegislash, because Sneasler was really here for the Floette, and so because I know it's not here, I'm not as concerned with them possibly targeting down the Sneasler, because I think Kommo-o can really easily solo this game as long as I deal with the Aegislash. And so, because I have Kingambit in the back and I have Scovillain out right now, Sneasler's a little bit more expendable, which is why I'm willing to just kind of throw a close combat at the Incineroar and see what happens. Because, like, absolute worst case scenario, they switch into Dragonite, which, like, then they're cycling their Pokemon and they're just taking more damage. And I break the multi-scale on it, which is really helpful for later. So we see no switching. I'm going to get off my Protect, and let's see, fake out into the Protect, which is perfect, which means I get a close combat into the Incineroar. They could be Chople Berry. Oh, they're not. Even better. Okay, great. So, oh, whoa. That is a fat Incineroar. Yeah, that's gotta be, like, impish. That's crazy. Okay. So, Iron Head into Sneasler, which is fine. I take that. Which I take that really well, even after the close combat drop, which is pretty cool. So I am just gonna Rage Powder here and go for another close combat, because I am okay with burning the Aegislash. I have a feeling Incineroar is going to swap, and I'd rather just get some damage on whatever comes in. and I don't want to get Shadow Sneaked. I think that's likely what will happen. I'd rather burn the Aegis Slash, and the other option is they could also King Shield this turn, and I don't want to throw an Overheat into a King Shield and then risk the Incineroar going for Parting Shot, which would be pretty bad because then I'm at -1 and I don't necessarily KO. And I really want to make sure that I have that ammo into the Aegis Slash. So let's see. Did I disconnect? No, it wasn't me. We're good. We're good. Okay, great. So I got off my Rage Powder, Shadow Sneak. Yep, that's why we went for that. And so now they're burned. So now the Aegis Slash is extra not scary. We've seen Shadow Sneak and Ironhead, which I think it's safe to assume they don't have Wide Guard, which is really good. Because now I think Kommo-o can really cleanly clean up. Especially because Leech Seed and Burn is just taking away this Aegis Slash, and it is definitely not long for this world. And I have King Gambit in the back. I mean, it's really not looking good for them. Yep, they just forfeit. I mean, even without the Kommo-o in the back, they still have to get through the Scovillain, and it's just going to burn everything they have. Which I would assume means that they're Dragon Fang, Dragon Claw, Dragonite, and so there's just really not a lot they can do about it. So that was another clean win for us. Alright, so we've got Incineroar, Gardevoir, Basculegion, Pelipper, Archaludon, and Sinistra. So this is definitely Mega Gardevoir, which is interesting. I haven't really seen Mega Gardevoir on Rain, but I suppose it makes enough sense. I think King Gambit is very, very strong here. I'm expecting that to be Aura Sphere or Archaludon. I think Kommo-o is really strong here, especially because I can't be hit by Hyper Voice, so the Gardevoir's a little less scary, although they can just Psychic me. But I think this is definitely not a Scovillain game. I think Scovillain's really, really weak here. I think this is probably like... Do I even bring Aerodactyl? I think I have to bring Aerodactyl. I think it's probably like Sneasler, Aerodactyl, Kommo-o, King Gambit, I would have to say. I don't, actually, no, I should lead King Gambit. Yeah, I should lead King Gambit and bring Aerodactyl in the back, I think. Because I think that they are not unlikely to lead Incineroar or Gardevoir. I mean, King Gambit just matches up so well into this team aside from the Archaludon, and with Sneasler pressuring it with a close combat, I think it's a little risky for them to, like, lead it like that and, like, keep it in. So I'm not, like, super, super scared of it. So you get Pelipper Archaludon, okay. So here's the thing. This could go one of two ways. So they could either... The Pelipper's either going to Hurricane the Sneasler or it's going to Tailwind. The Archaludon's either going to attack the King Gambit or Protect. I think this is a pretty safe Fake Out into Pelipper and Kowtow into Pelipper, because I want to scout out for what it's going to do. The Archaludon can't one-shot my King Gambit, even if it's Aura Sphere, and so I feel comfortable with that because I can just switch out King Gambit and save it for later. Yeah, okay, great. A Protect there. That's what I thought. It was either going to Aura Sphere or Protect. And Pelipper... Okay, perfect. So we get to Fake Out off on Pelipper, and we're going to get the Kowtow Cleave, which is then going to put it in range of another attack. Yeah, perfect. So that's in range of, like, a Dire Claw. I think they're going to swap the Archaludon, so I think... They're going to swap Archaludon and Tailwind. And so I think what I'm going to do is switch into Aerodactyl. No, because if they Electroshot that slot, that's bad. Yeah, I think I have to Dire Claw the Pelipper. But I think it's going to be a Kowtow on the Archaludon. I feel pretty confident they're going to switch, and if they don't... Oh, that's not what I thought was going to switch. Okay, I mean... I am not... I'm not mad at that one. Ooh! Wow. Okay, this... I feel like this looks like I'm Psychic. Because I just take that, and then I just couch out the Sinistra. I mean... I fully was expecting to, like, give them a stamina boost and, like, just kill the Pelipper, but this is way better. I'm not gonna complain about this one. Like, at this point, yeah, they just forfeit. Like, how do you come back from that? That's crazy. Yeah, a lot of... And something I've been finding a lot lately is that, like, a lot of my thought process can kind of be boiled down to... Yes, I think they could do this, but if they did do this, do I care? Like, yes, they could have attacked my Archaludon with... Or they could have attacked my Kingambit with Archaludon, but the question is, like, do I really care if they do? Like, I'm Colbur Berry, they can't one-shot me, like, it's not that big of a deal. And so, because they were playing scared and I wasn't, I was able to get a really, really big lead on them pretty much immediately. So this is Metaslop, otherwise known as Charizard, Garchomp, Aerodactyl, Aegislash, Sylveon, and Basculegion. There is an Aegislash instead of a Kingambit, which I think is nice and different. And it does make their matchup into me specifically a lot better. This is definitely an Aerodactyl game. I don't mind, especially because they don't have Sneasler. So, Sneasler Aerodactyl is a phenomenal lead into teams like this when they do not have Sneasler. I have to bring Kingambit into the Aegislash. I kind of want to bring Kommo-o because of the Charizard, but I don't really feel like I can because I don't want to put all of my Aegislash eggs into my Kingambit basket. That just doesn't really feel good. And I really can't bring Scovillain into this, I don't think. It just doesn't really do enough. Especially because it just gets dunked on by Charizard. Yeah, I think I have to bring this. Especially because I'm pretty confident I can get the speed advantage, and then Basculegion's gonna, like, really, really clean house. But we'll see. There's also, like, a lot of different versions of this team, and so I don't really know what to expect. Okay, Sylveon Charizard, I don't mind that at all. This is, like, honestly really free. This is just Mega Evolve Rock Slide, and honestly, I could fake out the Sylveon, but I'm just gonna Dire Claw, especially because, like, if they switch to Sylveon, like, I get a chance at status on whatever comes in. Unless it's Aegislash, but if it's Aegislash, like, great thing for people, the Aegislash, I can swap in to kill it. Because also, if, like, there's nothing I can do right now about them bringing in Aegislash, so I'm not gonna, like, stress super hard about it. Okay, in comes Garchomp. Okay, so they didn't switch Sylveon, which leads me to believe it's probably protecting. Or they're just gonna let me have it. Which I wouldn't... Oh! Okay. Weird choice, I'm gonna say, but one I'm not terribly upset about. Yeah, so we're just gonna take the Sylveon. Which is really cool and good. I like that. So they have Charizard, and I'm assuming Aegislash in the back. I can't imagine they don't bring Aegislash into this team. They didn't bring Aegislash. I am so fine with however this goes. So here's the thing. So they brought in Basculegion. They are obviously going to try to kill me. The question is, can I do anything about that? Because, okay, so they're not faster is the thing. Even if they're Scarf, they're not faster. So I can just click Tailwind and close combat into the Garchomp. Yeah, because, like, what are you going to do about it? Because now I get off my Tailwind, you take a close combat with your Garchomp, it's in range of, like, whatever. It's probably Sash Basculegion, which I don't really mind. I have Kingambit in the back, what do I care? And, like, because I have Tailwind up, I'm a lot less scared of the Charizard because I can just Last Respects it. And the Garchomp's got Citrus Berry. Cool. What are you gonna do, Earthquake? Like, come on. Rock Tomb? Okay, I set up Tailwind, I don't care. Yeah, this is really, really fine. So, they're gonna drop my speed, which is fine, I set up Tailwind. I kind of want to just click Rock Slide. I don't know, they're gonna Aqua Jet. Yeah, I'm just gonna click Rock Slide in case they don't Aqua Jet. And I'm just gonna close combat the Garchomp again. And just take it out. Because at this point, what are they really gonna do? Yeah, they take out that, which is fine. Oh, they lived. Okay. Wasn't expecting that, but not, like, terribly devastated. Oh, it's Rock Tomb. Okay, that's fine. I don't know why they went for Rock Tomb there. I don't... Like, I'm Unburdened and Tailwind. Like, there's really... Like, this is really not the place for that, but that's fine. So... Here's the thing. I'm a little scared of their Basculegion here. How many turns of Tailwind? This is what, last turn? No, 2 more turns of Tailwind. Okay, so... I think they're gonna protect Earthquake. But if they Last Respects me, I'm a little fucked. So I think I'm gonna protect and Dire Claw the Garchomp. Because if the Garchomp does switch, I want to be able to get damage on the Charizard. Okay. That's fine. That's a trade I'm totally fine with making. Because okay, so King Gambit beats this Basculegion in 1v1. I just have to get rid of the Charizard. The only problem now is... So, okay. We're in a position where the Charizard can kill both of my things. And I can kill the Charizard. Chances are they just double protect this turn. However, depending on the speed, I may be faster than their Charizard with the Basculegion. So I think my play this turn, I think they definitely protect the Charizard. I don't know if they protect the Basculegion. I'm going to double the Basculegion. Because I think they definitely protect the Charizard. Yeah, okay, they protect Charizard. Do they protect Basculegion? Because if they don't protect Basculegion, then I win the game. Okay, they do. Which is okay. So now... I'm Jolly Basculegion. So I should be faster than theirs. The Charizard, though, is faster than their Basculegion. The question is it bulky enough Charizard? I think I have to kind of just go for the Last Respect Sucker Punch into Charizard. I do think I kind of get got if they're faster Charizard. But because the Charizards on these teams are bulking down so hard, I'm like, there is a chance, because I'm 135, they're going below that. So I'm like, there is a chance that we're fine. Okay, Sucker Punch, and... Yeah, we're faster! Okay, and now we should be fine, because they set up Sun, and now they just can't... Because they Last Respects, which is totally fine, they're gonna kill that. But now I just get to Kowtow Cleave, and let's game. Well, let's Sucker Punch once, just for funsies. No, let's Kowtow Cleave, because then we can play Sucker Punch games. Because how much does this really do? Oh, it does half. Okay, that's fine. Now we're gonna play Sucker Punch games, which is fine. Because I know you have Aqua Jet. Last Respects is gonna kill me if you go for it. Yep, there's the Aqua Jet. Okay. I'm gonna go for one more Sucker Punch, and then I'm gonna Kowtow Cleave. Got him. Got him! Yeah, that's one of those endgames where it's like, you kinda just gotta guess right, and I guessed right. Like, it's really, those endgames are so tough. But we got him. And yeah, that's another win for us. And I think that's going to do it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed watching me mess around with this team. Please give me any feedback from watching this video, any tips, any, criticisms. This, I'm still new at this. Obviously, lighting is an issue. We're going to work on that. But yeah, any tips you have, any constructive criticism, I'm more than happy to hear it. Any other suggestions for things you want to see from me, let me know. And make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share, tell your friends, show your mom, all sorts of fun stuff. And I will see you next time. Goodbye!